My first favorite book is Guess How Much I Love You, about two brown hares who bicker all day about who loves whom the most. My mother and I seal each night with a reading, 2 kisses, and a prayer for another day to bicker. I say, I love you as wide as my arms can stretch, and she would always stretch hers wider. I am my mother's daughter, born jaundiced and jaded, 2 weeks late and heavy as a weary mother's heart. I cried every time she left the room, attached to her until I was afraid she let go, until I learned how many different kinds of love exist and that most people need each of them. I never trusted her boyfriends because children can sense that kind of thing, impending ruin. I'd say, I love you as high as my fingers can reach, and she would always reach higher, but cue adolescence and the welts it deals, the arguments I couldn't understand, a mother working, waking at 5 a.m., trekking child across counties for a chance at something good, counting quarters for the laundromat and sometimes for a meal, and sometimes to cover therapy for the child whose teachers were going concerned enough to call home but not enough to help. Depression scared us both back then, and neither one of us had the language for I'm frightened or I don't know what I've done to make you cry, but I would crack the earth at its center seam and make each hemisphere a porcelain bowl to catch your tears. I'd say, I love you as deep as I can hurt, and she would sink lower. So we tried distance, we tried boarding school, we rubbed absence into our chests to watch the fondness grow, and we bloomed with it. We grew up together. Me, acting out adulthood for the first time, and her reliving the early years that she had to grind into formula to feed me. Reliving the early years that she had to grind into formula to feed me. I would have given her her 20s if I could, but all I could do was say, I love you all the way to Grammy's house. And she'd say, I love you down to Mississippi where my mama's mama first loved her. Good God, how we made it here is hard to tell, so I tell it like this. I didn't learn to talk to my mother until I'd already forgiven her for her humanity. And now I can't stop talking to her and with her and about how proud I am to have her kind heart and no hips. When I'm able to make it home, we drink smoothies on the good couch and sweep all those odds we beat under the rug. I say, I love you right up to the moon, and she says she loves me back.